the conversation going about the Vegas Golden Knights right now, specifically about goaltender Adin Hill. I throw it to you, Mr. Gilbertson.
Thank you, sir. We are joined and really happy to have this guest on the line. We're joined by Justin Cardinal, who is the co-founder and head of development for Calgary-based Evolution Goaltending Corp. And that is a company that's worked with a few guys that you've certainly heard of, including one who is now starting for the Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup final, and that's Calgary-raised Adin Hill. Justin, thanks for doing this. How are you today?
I am great. Thank you for having me on.
Well, we're so happy to have you. I'm going to start with, we'll get into the intricacies of goaltending in a second, but let's just start because you're joining us not just from anywhere. You are joining us from Vegas, where you attended Game 1, where you'll be attending Game 2 tonight. Why don't we just start there? What was it like to be in the building, T-Mobile Arena, on Saturday night for Game 1 of the Cup?
It was unbelievable. The atmosphere in that building, watching what Adin was able to do during that game, it was unbelievable. It was a surreal feeling. I'm still not really processing that this is actually happening in the Stanley Cup Finals. It's unbelievable.
Let me just paint a little bit of the background so people know. So I believe you said Adin Hill was about 10 years old when you gave him his first lesson with you. Just sort of cold called by his dad. Hey, I'd like to set up a lesson. And now we're talking about a guy that you work with in the summer, that you text with every game. I know you said it was surreal. You're having trouble wrapping your head around it. But what is it like? What's it like to see someone that you've been working with that long, this close to, I'm sure, what was a childhood dream of his?
That's exactly right. He's living the dream right now. This is what we dream about. The coolest part about all of it is seeing him as a 10-year-old kid and knowing that this is his dream, and now him living it. And not only living it, but in the biggest stage in the world. And people talk to me all the time, and they ask me about nerves and asking me, am I nervous? I've got nothing to be nervous about. This kid is prepared for this. This is what we prepare for. There are kids that... Right now, when I was a kid playing road hockey out at home, I remember pretending to be Mike Richter and Martin Brodeur and Patrick Waugh. Right now, there's people in their backyards playing road hockey, and they're pretending to be Adin Hill. It's unbelievable.
That's a very good way to put it, and a very cool reminder. Let's go back to Game 3. You talked about the fact that he was prepared for this, so let's go back to Game 3 of that Pacific Division final between the Golden Knights and the Edmonton Oilers. Laurent Brossoit obviously has been starting for Vegas. He goes down with an injury, and suddenly Adin is getting loose on the bench, is going into the game. What's going through your mind at that moment?
Honestly, as soon as I saw his face and I saw him stand up to start to get ready, there was, again, I can see it in his eyes. He was ready for this. This is a moment that we prepare for and we wait for. And as soon as that opportunity comes, you got to be ready for it. And I saw the look on his face. I saw as soon as he got on the ice, he had some routines and some things that he does. And as soon as I saw him get to the net and he was shaking his elbows off, I knew right away he was comfortable. He was ready to go. And the biggest message from us is enjoy this. This isn't something that happens every single year. You need to enjoy every single moment, because these are the things that we prepare for. And if we don't enjoy it, it passes us by really quickly. So enjoy every moment, take it all in, and again, enjoy the process.
Beyond just that preparation you talk about, when we look at Adin's skill set as a goaltender, as a guy who was ready to, because there's a lot of teams that, suddenly the backup goes in and people think, oh, geez, they're maybe in trouble here. And obviously the Golden Knights have had more than just the two goalies go through this season. But when you look at Adin and how he's built, whether it's mental mindset, whether it's physical skill set, what's put him in a position to really capitalize on this opportunity?
Again, I believe that he's prepared for everything. And when I say that, it's mentally, it's physically. He's connected both. He's been able to work through situations that haven't really gone his way and gotten positives out of it, whether that be the old teams that he played for in the NHL or his junior career, how all those things happen. The adversity that he's been through coming all the way up through this has built his character, and he's more prepared for this than anything in his life. I think that the thing that's harder for him right now is dealing with some of the media, because you don't ever really get to practice that stuff. So the technical work and the work that we do mentally throughout, he's more than ready for this, and it's just a matter of how he's connecting all the dots at the right time.
I know you don't want to bug him too often, but what are you saying to him when you get those moments with him? What are your reminders to him at this point?
My biggest reminders are right now, if it's nothing technically or tactically, if for instance, when they were playing Edmonton, I saw some things on their power play that they were looking to try to execute. So give him a little heads up and a reminder, and then he responds to me with the right answer, so I know exactly how he's going to handle the tactical situation. He's more than prepared for that. But again, the biggest thing is understanding where you are. And this is a moment in your life. This is a moment in time that nobody can take away from you. So enjoy every bit of it. And as he does, you can see that game against Edmonton where they score the first 2 shots on net. As soon as I saw that grin on his face after the second goal, I knew it was over. He wasn't letting anything else in. He was prepared for this, and he just calmed himself down and then closed the door the rest of the way.
It's that little smirk, hey? That's the giveaway?
Yep. Oh, yeah. And again, he's loving every moment of this. Every single moment. All the stuff at the net, all the little punches and the little laughs and stuff, that fires him up. That fuels him. He loves competition. He's always been a very, very strong competitor. Even when we're playing rebound at the end of a session for fun, we don't win. He doesn't let us win. He's a very, very competitive guy.
I have these moments as a writer where, and maybe even going back to when Mika Kiprasov was the starting goalie for the Flames, where you see a save and you're sitting there at your laptop and you're like, geez, how the heck am I going to describe what just happened there? I'm going to throw this one over to you. How would you describe that stick save that the entire hockey world is talking about?
Again, very, very good play by the Florida Panthers. It goes east-west, and the guy goes back to the middle. And again, the competitive nature of Adin and the amount of times he's been in situations where he's had to battle and compete. Everybody talks about how he threw all technique out the door. Oh no, there was no way he could have rotated to push to that puck again. Puck's behind him, so the best way to do it is to build coverage, and he ended up falling back. It is a technical battle save, and he's made it many times before. It just so happens that this is on the biggest stage in the world, and he just got enough of it to keep it out. Those are saves in moments that can change series, they can change games, and that's what's expected of us. That's the job that we signed up for.
We are chatting here on Sportsnet today with Justin Cardinal, co-founder and head of development for Calgary-based Evolution Goaltending Corp. And goaltending coach for more than one goalie you've heard of. We've talked a lot about Adin Hill, but let me ask you about Logan Thompson. He's another goalie raised here in Calgary. You've worked with him. A different scenario for Logan. He gets hurt late in the regular season in a game at the Saddle Dome. Actually, he ends up kind of being, I guess, the odd man out, you could say, in these Stanley Cup playoffs, still along for the ride with the Vegas Golden Knights. What have been your conversations with Logan in terms of how he approaches his current scenario?
Well, obviously coming off an injury, and he had an outstanding season. Named an All-Star, goes to the All-Star game. He's had an outstanding season as well. The biggest thing for him right now is understanding the injury and how that takes him out of the lineup. And then just again, it's a matter of being prepared. Anything can happen right now. They still might need to use him. Who knows what happens throughout this long, grueling series? So the whole thing is just a matter of shutting off the noise, forgetting about what people are saying, how things have transpired throughout. Prepare yourself. If he can prepare himself and an opportunity is needed for him to step in, be ready for that opportunity.
Goalies love their numbers. What do you figure the odds are of one goaltending company sending 2 guys to the Stanley Cup final?
Yeah, it's pretty special. Again, when Vegas traded for Adin this year, in the off season, I'm not going to lie, it felt surreal again, where there's 2 of them from the same town who have trained with us for a very long time. I cannot be more happy for these guys. This is truly living the dream. They get to not only play in the NHL, but they get to play on the same team, and they know each other. It doesn't get better than that.
What do you hope this shows, or what do you hope this means to young goalies, maybe wannabe goalies? There's tons of kids in Calgary and elsewhere who, are maybe bugging mom and dad, hey, let's get some pads. I'd like to try goalie next year. Maybe I'll try goalie on the driveway. Understanding how challenging it is to get to the next level and the level after that and on and on. When you look at Adin and Logan as maybe role models for those kids, what should they be learning from them?
Well, that's the biggest thing. It's hard. It's hard to play in the NHL. It's hard to be a professional athlete. But at the same time, the thing that people need to know is it's possible. You're going to have way more people that tell you no than tell you yes. So what we actually do as goaltending coaches and as a goaltending company is we truly build belief systems. There's the technical side and all of the sides of what to do, how to do it, but at the same time, we're building belief systems, and we're building belief systems in them. They're believing in themselves, and that's the thing that I again, in terms of pointing out, is it's not really about me; it's about them. They're the ones that are on the big stage. They're the ones that are playing in front of 20,000 people. They're the ones who have to deal with the media or all the things that happen. Where if you had a bad game, who's going to chew you out and whatnot? They're the ones who have to deal with that. We're there for support. But at the end of the day, it's about them. It's about them and their preparation, and them being able to seize the moment and be ready for again, playing on the biggest stage in the world.
I'm so glad you mentioned that part. Is there something that's happened, and there's lots of examples, we talked about Adin getting thrown in cold, giving up goals on the first two shots in that clinching game against Edmonton. We talk about Logan and the injury issues. Has there been one situation that really makes you proud this spring where you're like, hey, everything we've done has really prepared that guy for this?
I don't want to say there's one moment, just simple due to the fact of Logan not being in the lineup right now. But the moments that were, is when I watched the consistency of both of them throughout the entire season. If you look at the numbers, the one thing that a lot of people are talking about and saying, like with Adin, the narrative of Adin being the fourth guy. He was never the fourth guy. He was injured for a little while. He was the second guy, or 1A, 1B. Logan played the brunt of the games, which was expected, and he had a great all-star year. But Adin has always been very, very solid. He came from Arizona, went to San Jose, now he's in Vegas. And if you look at his past, he's always been very, very consistent. So to see the consistency that both of those guys put together throughout an entire season and now into playoffs, the whole year has been it's been a super fun ride for us. I haven't missed a single game of Vegas Golden Knights this year. I watch every single game, and I'm so proud of those guys. There's no amount of money that could take the smile off my face right now.
Do you have your little guy in Vegas with you?
Absolutely. I have the whole family here.
Well, it's going to be another special night down there, Justin. I'm so thankful for you taking time to join us again. Justin Cardinal, co-founder, head of development for Evolution Goaltending Corp., a local company that has helped prepare more than one guy for the very biggest stage. So, Justin, enjoy Game 2 tonight, and thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
There you go. That's cool chat. And first of all, big round of applause. That's a big step in Wes Gilbertson's radio career. That's I just smooth right to Wes. Those in-segment interviews are not easy to do, like a pro.
Justin's the pro. That was good. Very fascinating stuff. We always say we don't know anything about goaltending. It is absolute voodoo for the rest of us in the world. So to have someone, and what I love about it is you can hear the excitement in his voice when he talks about Adin, when he talks about Logan, when he talks about what both of them have accomplished on the NHL stage. I just think it's so cool.
Justin Cardinal from Evolution Goaltending Corp here in Calgary. And yeah, it's a really neat story. Logan Thompson, the Calgary product. There's Adin Hill, who is not born in Calgary, but a lot of his minor hockey in this city, a Blackfoot minor hockey product, played a year with the Calgary Canucks. And the Vegas Golden Knights, if they were this far, had a pretty good chance of having a Calgary goaltender between the pipes. Either Logan Thompson, who unfortunately got hurt in that game in Calgary. Did they end up? Yeah, Jonathan Quick ended up shutting the door in that game, and they won a 1-goal game, if I remember correctly. And now Adin Hill, who wasn't really he was on the radar, but when Logan Thompson was in net, it was Thompson and Quick, and Brossoit and Hill were hurt, and you're like, we don't know when they're going to come back. Then they start the playoffs, and Brossoit's the goalie against the Jets. And then Hill, it's been just a bizarre year between the pipes for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Maybe I'm biased, because I've written about him. You can find something on the post media sites. We obviously just finished chatting about him, but is Adin Hill not the best story of these playoffs?
Oh yeah, it's one I think that there are outside of this market. I think Chuck's pretty good story.
Sure,
Bobrovsky reclaiming his form,
and
but
maybe
I think Hill is this kind of out of nowhere story. I absolutely think so.
The best breakout story would be a great way to put it, right? This is a guy, listen, he's played 100 regular season games roughly in the NHL. He's not an unknown, and yet this is the this is when Adin Hill makes a name for himself.
Yeah.
This has been a breakout spring for Adin Hill, and it's been pretty cool to watch.
Absolutely. That was a cool interview. Justin Cardinal of Evolution Goaltending Corporation joined us on the Atlas Pizza and Sports Bar guest hotline using the same secret recipe since 1975. Dine in at 6060 Memorial Drive Northeast. Takeout or delivery at 403-248-3344.